3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? Cody here, and no, that is not my social security number. I don't care what Beau says. But we were discussing it could be somebody else's.
That could be an issue.
It could be one of yours. Uh-oh. How's everybody doing? Also, you can see the chat and stuff like that, right? When it comes up. If it were to come up, can you see the chat box on the right? Beau?
Oh, I can. Oh, you're talking to me. Oh.
Yes.
No, I don't see any chat box.
Oh, there was a option. Hang on. No, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, how's everybody doing on this Thursday? I'm trying to get everything set up. Me and Beau are actually going to be going a week from tomorrow. We're going to be flying out to Colorado for my birthday week. And we were going to just kind of discuss what our plans were because things have drastically changed, unfortunately. Brent Mania says, hello, you living legends, right here. Tomorrow is my 34th birthday. Oh, happy early birthday, Brent Mania.
Happy birthday.
So, we're definitely trying to do some interesting things for you while we're in Colorado. Me and Beau have talked about some things. Beau really wants to do Casa Bonita, but we don't know what that's. Beau, you can jump in this. I don't want to be the only one talking.
Yeah. So we want to do Casa Bonita, as Cody mentioned. Thing is, right now, it recently went under new management with Matt and Trey Parker, the owners or creators of South Park. They bought the building. Of course, you may know them from the episode where Cartman tries to go to Casa Bonita for the birthday. They bought it recently, and because of that, it's under new renovation, new management, and the only way to get into the restaurant at this time is invite only. So you have to go to the website, enter your email to be put on a list, and then fingers crossed that they even pick you. I'm sure at this time the only people really getting picked for something like that is going to be media, big names, celebrities, anyone that can leave a good review and bring attention to something like that. Whether or not they, pick Cody because he has a following, a 90s following and a YouTube channel, is yet to be seen.
Very rarely do I actually get picked for anything. Hell, I don't even get press passes for conventions anymore. But it would be really cool to have that experience of being able to go to Casa Bonita as an invited guest. Because I do feel like that would be high profile. Also, I'm pretty sure Matt Stone and Trey Parker will be there. So,
and then what else do we have on the list after that?
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out of the way because I posted a picture of it. So we have a entirely different, macabre type video that we're going to be doing, which is we're going to be talking about two different locations where mass shootings happened, and one of which is going to be Columbine High School. That one is going to be interesting because we got to do a lot of workaround on that. I don't think we're allowed to go on campus grounds. We're only going to be going to the actual memorial, which is a public memorial. But that's going to be interesting. Beau, if you want to say something, you can.
As Cody said, it is kind of, not only as we're just, randoms, not students. And in the time of days that we live in, you don't want to just be walking onto any school property, like that, especially not being welcome guests or, students, much less an area that's, like the original, start of, all the school shootings and, one of the biggest. So we will respect that and not go past where I guess, they recommend.
Yeah, which I feel like is a public memorial, which is still on campus grounds, but it's also next to a baseball and football field or something like that, if I remember correctly. I'm doing as much research as I can on the subject because our friend Adam the Woo, he went on campus and was stopped on camera when he did his video, and they let him pass after he explained things. But I feel like it's a really hard sell just to go somewhere and pull a camera out. Someone did say that this is going to be in June, school's going to be out, but I don't think that's going to matter.
Yeah, nonetheless, all respects all around to the city, the people, the families.
We do not want to be disrespectful because this happens to be again, it is a place of learning. I do understand as someone who is interested in true crime or just in general things like that, wouldn't warrant me to be like welcome on that campus. But I also want to be there to pay my respects to the 13 that died there. They have a very beautiful memorial out there, and we will do our best to tell as much as or say as much as we can about the event standing just in the memorial and maybe getting some footage of all the names that are on it. Which Beau will probably end up sharing his thoughts on the subject as well. The next place.
Next place we'd like to take a visit to is, I believe, a little more north than Littleton, and we'll be taking a visit into Aurora, Colorado. If you're not familiar with that name already, that is where another unfortunate situation happened. The theater shooting, where on a night where they were showing Batman, a gentleman walked in there, and a gentleman lightly, and took the lives of many people, of which Cody and I plan on, this is a little darker, of actually seeing a movie in this theater. And I guess.
This idea, first off, anybody can go to this movie theater. There's nothing for anyone to be concerned about when it comes to, this specific thing. It's different when it's school. But a movie theater is a public place as long as you're paying to do something there. I don't think you're really breaking any rules. So what I am thinking at this point in time is we're going to be buying a ticket to their theater. This theater is actually the one where the event actually fell, or actually where it happened. It's the actual screen, which from what I've researched, apparently the screening is no longer called Theater 9. It's just an XD theater. So we're going to go see The Flash in XD. It's going to be interesting because we're going to be sitting in some seats that I feel like are just going to be an emotional roller coaster. I like to put myself in the position of history. I'm a very big fan of walking through the footsteps of time and really just embracing what happened. As someone who is a human being witnessing something like this throughout time as a child, Beau, Columbine, that is a name that stuck with me when we were having to go through like shooter drills and stuff like that. It shaped how we were able to be educated in school.
Yeah, no, I remember it suddenly being, hey, if you're going to school, you need to switch to a clear backpack or the ones that were mesh or net. Like that was the requirements for school, there for a little bit. Like any packaging that you had, like your pencil box, everything had to be clear or mesh. Your backpack, clear or mesh. And yeah, like Cody said, just, it changed the way we grew up for a while, for sure.
Yeah. If there were two events that really shaped our childhoods and kind of forced us to grow up a little too quickly, Columbine and 9/11 were the two biggest things that we had to really kind of embrace as children because we didn't understand death at that point until those events happened. We didn't understand how fragile life was, and we certainly didn't understand what happened. As you get older, you start to show interest in these things because they happen in a time when you were at your most, I guess that's the word I'm looking for, not immature. We were children, but we were innocent. It's like a robbery of innocence. That's what we ended up having to deal with. And Beau, I remember when this all happened, our biggest concerns were what Pokemon cards we had in our collection. Like we didn't care about things like that until it unfolded. So Me and Bo have already been to 9/11 together, or we're the World Trade Center location, and um, and then of course Aurora. I remember what happened. I was at the movie theater at midnight that night. I don't know where you were, probably home, but me and my mother went to go see a midnight screening of this movie. Uh, on the same day it happened. When we got home, we saw what happened, and it was unbelievable. They were, if I remember correctly, my mother told me that she said I remember this because I went a whole year without it. Mom's like, you are never going to a movie theater ever again. She really felt like it was going to be an issue. It's like, gee, Ma, you didn't think that when I was going to school now, did you? I actually pulled that argument out on her. But yeah, that I remember Bo. I remember when that happened. That was 11 years ago.
Yep.
It's definitely experience. But moving out of the macabre and morbid, what else were we planning on doing? I think we were talking about doing Pikes Peak.
Pikes Peak. Now I have videos of that from my last time I was there. Went to Colorado last time for my mother's wedding, and Pikes Peak was one of the things that we did while we were there. Pikes Peak is one of, I can, if anyone wants to correct me, one of the highest points in Colorado. And the mountain is just a very beautiful, beautiful view, but it's most points no guardrail, and it's just a curvy road up this long path, and it goes so up high for someone that is from Florida, breathing that Colorado Pikes Peak air way up on top of that mountain. I could tell, like, the strain on my my lungs, how hard it was to breathe.
I'm gonna play Pokemon while you're talking.
That was it. Pikes Peak was a cool visit, and I recommend, if anyone's ever in Colorado, to definitely do it safely. I believe there's even cars. I would never do this, but people drift their cars up this mountain, up and down it, for a competition for the fastest time and stuff like that.
Oh God, I gotta turn this down. Oh God. Holy shit. Hang on just a second. Continue. There we go. Continue.
So yeah, that's Pikes Peak for you. It's a beautiful mountain, beautiful view. Possibly even like a racetrack, I believe, for certain people. It's a really cool road and a really cool mountain. Everyone should visit there. Of course, up the way there's souvenirs, and most people will hike it. I'm not a hiker, so I probably wouldn't be up for such a challenge. I would like to maybe try it eventually, but I just drove up it. I'm not sure where. I think we at one point talked even doing some of the stuff from Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah, because they have that that hotel when they arrive in the orange and blue tux. I really wanted Bo to get a really nice car for us to pull up in.
That's still in the talks. I don't know that. I doubt we got someone in the chat that knows anything about this. I'll probably have to do my own research, and I have been. But I could just do a rental from Enterprise, what have you. And typically, the nicest thing you're gonna get is still nice, a Mustang or a Camaro. Maybe it's a convertible, and that's cool and all. I kind of wanted to go a little more exotic for this visit. I know exotic rentals are typically a little harder, which is why I originally was going to try to talk to my uncle about it, because the only way they want to let you rent these cars is a credit card and a down payment. The down payment, I think I would be able to handle. Credit card, I don't think I got that covered. They want to put a high hold on something like that. It's an exotic vehicle. You crash it, you're fucked. But
there goes your whole life. You might as well have just died in the car accident.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's an idea to, if we do this Dumb and Dumber thing. I don't know that we'll be able to get.
That's what I want to do. Now, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be able to fit in a damn blue, powder blue tux. But it would have been funny if me and Bo just really reenacted that whole scene where we were lightsaber fighting with the canes and stuff. Like we love doing stuff like that. These movies actually influenced who we are as people. Probably why I actually love movies more than Bo likes movies too, but not as much as I do. Speaking of that, I'm putting you in as my rival, you asswipe.
That's okay. You've always done.
Uh, I'm gonna be the very
But
best.
yeah, no, I mean, it would be nice to get some kind of exotic of sorts to drive around.
Yeah, and well, okay. So on top of that, my birthday is literally the day after we go out there. I'm actually arriving at midnight on the 24th on my birthday. So I don't know what they have planned in that instance. LJ said something about going to Estes Park. Do you know what that is?
I do not.
Apparently, Estes Park is a really nice. Oh, Lord, give me a second. Continue talking if you need to.
Oh, so yeah. Has anyone in the chat been to Colorado from Colorado? I'm not sure how many people you got watching.
It's a toss up between about 10, 15 people.
Yeah,
And
do we got any natives of Colorado or anyone that has been to the area? Any stories? Anything that you feel that we haven't mentioned that we should be visiting? I do a little bit of skateboarding. I've been thinking about bringing my board. And there's like 4 different parks that I took a look at. I thought
yeah,
about.
Beau has also, we've live streamed with Beau skateboarding before when I was out there with him. So,
Um,
but yeah, Colorado is definitely going to be an interesting vacation. I don't know. We could say maybe we could do something that tops New York, but New York was an amazing vacation for us.
but that was a 3-day ordeal, and we rushed a lot into one.
Did so much in New York, man. That whole trip was just us going to Jersey to meet Jay and Silent Bob. Then Beau was just like, hey, we're close enough to a subway where we could just go to New York. And I was like, that was my dream vacation. It wasn't something I actually even thought about, but Manhattan, that was what, 2 days we did? Yeah. I fucking walked 10 miles in Manhattan.
And we went from more than that. Is it not? Is it? I'll have to look it up.
Madison Square Garden to
Madison Square to Battery Park.
yeah. Well, we went straight from Madison Square Garden to the 9/11 museum, right? Or did
Well,
we stop?
that's everything in between. We did more than that, but in a directional line, we did um, Madison Square to Battery Park and then back.
Do you want to know what Beau's first thing that he did when we got out of Madison Square Garden? It wasn't we were looking around and stuff like that, but Beau, as soon as we pulled out of there, the first thing he wanted to do was get a fucking hot dog from a hot dog cart. And that was the first thing that his dumbass did. I was just like, how was the hot dog, Beau? I want you to tell us, because if I remember correctly, this shit tasted like a normal fucking ballpark hot dog.
Yep.
It's like when you're you're like the touristy fucking tourist.
I knew what I was doing. I just wanted to, I just needed to know.
I really am pissed off that we didn't get a genuine pizza. Like, we kept looking for Joe's original, and everything's Joe's original pizza. Every corner has a Joe's original. Somebody actually said, smoke some weed.
10 miles. We walked pretty much. So, yeah, I would say probably like, 12 miles.
That's a lot of walking for a fat fuck like me. Someone just said, smoke some weed from the dispensary. It's legal out there.
I will be doing that. I have my medical card here in Florida, so I do a bit of that. Now, the thing is, in Florida, they cap you at like, I don't know, edibles, maybe like 100 milligrams. The highest THC I typically see when it comes to concentrates is like 85, 87, maybe like in the low 90s. Maybe that's normal for up there. But I don't know. I have been to Colorado. I did smoke when I was up there. Because I was only there for a wedding, my brothers and I kind of just bought flour. We didn't really go to concentrates or edibles. We just, got as much flour as we could, and honestly bought too much because the night before we had to get on our plane, we ended up having to smoke as many blunts as possible, and ended up, being more or less uncomfortably high because we just had to get rid of it. I think we even left some intentionally at the Airbnb for the owner, who was THC friendly.
Oh boy,
We had bought, too much.
that guy's probably blitzed.
He was happy. He's a very great guy, but nonetheless, yeah, no, it is. It's not very expensive out there. It's it's like a Starbucks on every fucking corner. When I got to Colorado last time, like Cody said, the first thing I did, there was grab a hot dog. First thing I did in Colorado, because it was legal, was grab marijuana. And I came out of the subway, which was like a train, or not train. It was like a airport, subway, train station. Anyone that's been to Colorado probably knows what the hell I'm talking about. And when I got out of the subway, train station, whatever it was, and walked up, to the streets, there was at least 4 dispensaries within, the next 3 or 4 blocks of any direction I walked. They were just everywhere. So we just picked one and walked in like if it was any other store. People were very nice and, considerate. And we just bought, I wouldn't say it wasn't like, low shelf or high shelf. I think we just bought, typical whatever. But this time I'm going to go for the best of the best, no doubt.
Speaking of when we were talking about New York, that was one of the things that we got to do out there. I actually opted not to post it on our.
Talking about the marijuana place we visited.
Yeah, that was actually really fucking cool.
Yeah, it was interesting. So as we were walking through, I think it was shortly after we got to Madison Square, kind of near that McDonald's, near what's that area? Central Park. It's near Central Park, was it not? Yeah.
Yes.
Near the McDonald's in Central Park, there's a marijuana shop that we had visited, and on the bottom floor is like your typical shop. I think the second floor may have been, more just your normal shop, maybe more retail stuff. But above that, maybe on the 3rd and 4th floor, was like a club, like a nightclub thing. But, it was just, everyone was just fucking smoking. It was just people getting high.
Why don't I just drop it on the ground? Why don't I?
Kind of like a hookah lounge would be.
This was the pizza that this was right outside, I believe, because if I remember correctly, what we were trying to do at this point, we were at that place you wanted to skate, right? That you were talking about.
So we had taken a sitting break, and that was Zakoti Park or Zakuti Park. We had stopped there, and as we're sitting on the steps, I kind of was like, this looks like a skate spot. And as I continued to look around, I was like, I've seen this in skate videos. And maybe there was some autism kicking in because I was like, I know where we are because of the fucking skate videos.
Do you know what was right there too? Which I'm pretty sure you remember this. I pointed it out, but I didn't get any video or photos of it. The clock, the old-timey little clock, that is from Spider-Man 2 when he's trying to deliver pizza.
Yep, I remember.
It's all down because we were actually trying to look for Joe's Pizza, the one that was in the movie, because it was an actual pizza parlor, and we never found it.
No, I think we
didn't eat there.
We definitely didn't eat there. I don't remember what.
Or they could have been closed because of COVID, because that was still within like the first few months of before they actually started opening things up a little bit more, if I remember correctly. But like we couldn't go to Serendipities, which pissed me off. I don't know if you know what that is, Beau. Serendipities. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. I ain't even paying attention to it. But Serendipities is a place that my mom told me I needed to go to if I ever went to New York. It is a ice cream parlor, and it's like really fancy, like ice cream. And they closed down because of COVID, and it pissed me off because we passed by it, and I really wanted to try it. And geez, as much as we were walking in New York, I feel like we needed ice cream.
Yeah, believe it or not, we were there in the summer and it was hot. New York can be.
It was beautiful though. But the thing is like I wasn't prepared for the hot because we were going up further up north, and we come out of Madison Square Garden. It's raining on top of us, so we have that nice New York rain. As a matter of fact, Beau, just a little bit out of the ways in the subways, apparently there was flooding. Because you remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we could have very easily had gone up in that position of getting flooded on, but we didn't. New York was a trip though. I'd like to go back out there at some point so we can go to all the boroughs.
Oh, we don't have issues with the fucking card machine letting you through the gate.
Oh, I threw the biggest bitch fit in that moment. I almost got in a fist fight with everybody. I was just like, man, those little Metro cards that you get, they sit there and say you're supposed to hold something and then swipe. And I'm sitting there doing it in sequence, in many different sequences, and it wouldn't unlock.
Get through the door.
I was stuck. I said, Beau, I'm fixing to hop this bitch. He's like, you better not. Yeah, no, that was not a fun experience. Those Metro cards are bullshit, dude. I think they're just there to piss you off. That's just me. You and Jonathan got through just fine.
Yep.
I'm just stupid. That's how it is. Beau was trying to reach inwards, trying to do it like for me.
Yeah, I was like, just give me it.
No, I was flipping the fuck out. I was already exhausted. It was hot in those terminals. Ugh, it's ridiculous. But
we kind of got scammed. Like we avoided almost every scam possible, and it wasn't until we were leaving that someone kind of conned a little bit of money out of us.
I don't remember. Are you talking about that guy that tweaker that was at the bottom of the subway?
No. Okay, the tweaker at the bottom of the subway, there was an old man who had fallen. Now, we were warned not to help anybody, and
Jonathan and his
like a scam. There was a guy who had fallen and was trying to ask people to help him up, but even other New Yorkers and locals, will tell you it's as soon as they pick you up, they'll drop their medicine and say that you made them drop their medicine, and now you need to help them pick it up, or you owe them, X amount for their medicine that you dropped.
Beau knows this, by the way. I did my fucking research on this subject before I even went out there. I was just like, I don't want to be stupid.
Not that everyone's a bad person, but that is, a thing to be on the lookout for, and we were. So it wasn't until we were going back to Madison Square, and we're trying to get on the right out of there and figure out which terminal leads to what. And may I add, the same terminal where when I went to use the bathroom, there was someone in there with a needle in their arm, waking up every few minutes, trying to get it into a different spot, and blood everywhere, trying to shoot up.
I wasn't in this. I didn't experience this.
Yeah, no, I watched a guy trying to shoot up multiple times in a Madison Square bathroom and kept nodding out while standing up. That was quite a fucking sight to see, just trying to use the bathroom. That being said, off topic, we go to get our ticket and everything. We're trying to figure out which terminal we go to, which hallway leads to what. It's a big maze if you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah,
and of course, a local sees us kind of looking around confused, reading stuff, looking stuff up, and approaches and says, "Do you need help finding your terminal?" Or very normal. And yeah, we're trying to find this. Well, which one? We're not thinking much of it. He's a normal looking person. And he says, "Oh, okay, you guys had tickets for this. You need to go to this terminal on this room on this floor, blah blah blah, and it'll be there." And we're like, "Thank you so much. Wow, that was so easy. Now we understand." And he's like, "Now, I just helped you boys figure out where you need to go. Is there any possibility that you could help a nice old man with some lunch or something of the sorts?" And Cody felt some kind of way instantly that, damn it, we just got scammed or conned.
Well, that was
or not Connor. Jonathan didn't really think much of it and went to help the gentleman, but Cody definitely immediately felt some kind of way that we were getting conned.
Which again, prepping before we go, there were certain things that I was told not to do, especially when you come out of Madison Square Garden. There are people that are going to stop you trying to sell you tourist maps. The other thing is that when you go to, if you go to places that claim that they're doing, tour rides, they're fake. They're going to take your money and never show up. The other thing was them trying to sell you a ride to the Statue of Liberty, which we were able to do for free. And that's the thing, is New York is full of people who are ready to scam you. Do you want to know what the one I was afraid of the most, Beau? It sounds so stupid in hindsight. but it was people dressed up as like random characters out in fucking Times Square trying to photobomb you just so they can say, "Hey, you owe me money."
Honestly, we didn't run into any of that. We did run into like some people who were um like kind of parkour kind of show, breakdance parkour, kind of like.
Which is something you run into in LA too, yeah.
And it was very cool to watch. The thing is, they keep hyping it up, telling you you're about to see the greatest thing you've ever seen. We're gonna jump over 20 people, and they hype it up, and then it's like one big joke, or it's like actually ends up being only like 5 people, or I don't know. But they go on to hyping up this huge crowd for like 30 minutes before anything happens, and it's funny, but they gain a lot of money from it. It's a good show, but it's never what they say it's going to be.
I know if you're, first off, I remember I got scammed in California my first time ever. And it was more or less me because I wanted to get the guy to get the fuck away from me. Couldn't stand it. But, excuse me, we were at Venice Beach. I was out there with my boss at the time and my friend James, who's from the UK. And this guy comes up to me and he's just like, "Hey, you like music? You look like you like music." And I was just like, sure. And he was just like, "Well, here's my new album. I want to go ahead and let you have it, but I need you to give me some money for it." And I was like, "Dude, I don't have any money." He's like, "You can't help me with anything?" And my friend from the UK is just like, "Here's $20." I was like, "Dude, you paid him for..." The CD was blank, dude. Completely blank. I didn't pay for it, but my friend did. And I was just like, I shouldn't have engaged. I should have just walked away. But like, it catches you off guard. These people will do like the most interesting things to scam you. Like simple things. I don't know, man. It's just like they're very good at what they do. It's just what they do isn't very fucking nice.
Right.
I don't know, man. But yeah, Colorado, I feel like we're going to have a blast. Hopefully, we can do a lot more. I know that I would like to do. See, if we're going to do Colorado, I'm not going to do what I did with New York. I made like an hour-long video for New York, and I don't want to just put a bunch of shit into one video. Probably just do a bunch of separate videos. Because I've come to learn that when you separate the videos get a lot bigger. I did the one in California, and the first time I shut off any footage of us from when I went to the command center building, people weren't watching it. And then I was just like 2 weeks later, I'm like, maybe I should do it as a separate video. And dude, that video is already almost at 5,000 views. Like, it's just figuring things out as you go. I felt like it would have been cool to just throw it together into one video. But what we're going to do is me and Beau are going to try to figure out exactly what we can record. If Casa Bonita ends up happening, you know damn well we're going to try to do something with that. The 2 videos where we're going to Columbine and Aurora are going to happen. What else were we talking about? Pikes Peak, probably. I don't know. Well, there's just definitely a lot of things that we could probably do. Somebody said Molly Brown house. I might be interested in doing that. Molly Brown did not live in that house when she was in the Titanic, though. Like with the Titanic, she was going to New York. Her family was out in New York. So I don't know the historical significance of that house. Like, was she just born there? I don't know. Let me look some stuff up real quick. Oh, Beau, Real South Park.
Ah, yes. I don't remember what the town is actually called, but there is a town that you can visit that the Real South Park is based off of. How far it is we'd have to look that up, but there is a Real South Park town.
Yeah, let's see what we can look up real quick. So, I mean, we do have the opportunity to go see the Rocky Mountains. John Denver's full of shit, man.
Yeah. We'd have to talk to Uncle LJ, but it would be cool to get that exotic rental, even if it's just a Corvette, a C8. That's just as good as any Lambo or Ferrari.
Yeah. What was the car? I forgot. That was. I don't remember what it was that they were driving.
I think they're driving. What year did that movie come out?
1994.
Hmm. I'm not sure if the Diablo. I feel like the Diablo was around that. I think that's the
It might
Lamborghini.
have been the Diablo, actually. Hang on, let's look it up. Dumb and Dumber car. Hopefully, it doesn't have the fucking cut van. It's like,
South Park, San Diego. No. South Park, Colorado.
no, that's Colorado. Dumb and Dumber car. Here we go. So, why? Yeah, it's showing the Mutt Cuts van.
There is a real South Park town, though. It's a little mountain town, just like, the movie.
That was a Lambo. And do you know where that car is right now?
Oh, no, where is it?
It's in a museum.
He confirmed it. He said it is a Diablo. I was right.
Yeah, the Lambo. Yeah, I swear I heard the Diablo. Well, dude, that's.
Dr. Pepper is not endorsing us, but if you have not tried strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper,
berries and cream,
highly suggest trying Dr. Pepper strawberry.
That is the best thing ever. When I was out there, Beau hadn't tried it yet, and I picked up a couple of cases, and he just fucking started sucking them down. that is a good soda.
This is her.
This is her. What?
This is me.
Oh my goodness. No, it would be fucking cool to do that scene, by the way, where we just like have the butterfly doors. Yeah, those would be fucking cool.
I don't know what the logistics are on a 90s Diablo.
Can you rent a 90s Diablo? Hang on, let's see.
Butter soda. I'll give it a go.
But are you talking about those? Okay, so you know those odd flavors they have. They have like peanut butter and jelly and bacon flavored soda. I think he's actually talking about a butter flavored soda. Well, these people love when I do Cody Tries Food videos. They like to watch me fucking be tortured.
Well, people soda.
Soylent green soda. It varies from person to person. 90s Diablo rental Toro. These are just moderns. How to rent a Lamborghini. We need a walkthrough, apparently.
Look,
a 1997 Diablo. It's not a.
Yeah, what's the down payment? You're probably looking at least $800 for a day. I'm thinking at least.
I just don't. It's white though. I would probably want to do a red one, but it looks very similar. It's just the color change. They don't have any information on this other than you have to email them. However. Yeah, see, now they don't even have...
The 90s Diablo going to be paddle shifters like the modern ones, or is that going to be manual?
Yeah, no, I figured, Brent, you were actually talking about those sodas. Like, if I have ever tried anything that was remotely close to how disgusting those things might have been, Beau will tell you I was searching for these damn things for a while when I was out there with Peeps soda. And I still cannot believe how close it was to tasting like vanilla Pepsi. However, it had an aftertaste of window cleaner. It's almost like they were just like, fuck it. let's put some Windex in here. But it tasted too much like, I feel like, marshmallow isn't vanilla. So you got that like distinction, that flavor in marshmallow.
200 a day, that's really fucking good. If we could get a Lambo for 200 a day, I'll rent it for the fucking week.
Where are you from, Brent? Not Colorado, I'm sure. I need to look. Exotic car rentals, Denver. We're doing Denver.
That's the biggest city nearby. That's probably where you're not really gonna have them in like any,
Aspen, huh? You do Aspen. Austria. Well, Good day, mate. Let's put another shred. Oh, hey, shit. They got a fucking McLaren on here.
Yeah, the wrong one with McLaren.
No Lambos, though. Of these, would you do, we got a Maserati.
Here's the thing. I'm not trying to grind any gears in an exotic car. It needs to be automatic or paddle shifters because I don't have any experience in anything past a fucking V8.
Yeah, well, if Beau ends up killing me, and I'm not gonna die in an exotic car in Colorado. Okay, so there's two places. You have
Called it a bullshit.
somebody put in the review on this right here, because this place is literally called Exotic Car Collection by Enterprise, Denver, Colorado. Okay, the first review that comes up: Chargers are not exotic cars. Way to be honest. Let's look at the website real quick. I'm just kind of doing my research. One time we mixed a bulldog and a shih tzu.
I called it a bullshit.
Yeah. What's up, Dave? I didn't see your comment, man. How you doing?
Dave. I don't know you, Dave, but what's up, Dave?
So here we go. Pick up June. I'm going to say the 20th. I'm just say hypothetically 24th. And what, like, return? I'm just looking.
If we're looking at like any more than
you have to have a corporate account number to rent these cars.
Do you see why I was telling you that I need our uncle to
You have to have a corporate account number. Because yes, he's working for corporate shit, right?
need his assistant. I will put the money down. I don't
really doesn't want. I don't know if he trusts you that much to drive an exotic car.
Again, why I said let's put all the bullshit aside and just not get anything that's a manual, because I'm not trying to fuck shit up. Fuck a transmission. And it's been a couple years since I drove a manual. And that was a Volkswagen Golf, and that was fun, but that's not the same as a V12.
We're definitely going to try to figure some stuff out. Beau, at one point, I would like to, play like Pokemon Stadium with you on camera, because I always talk about.
This guy said he's Lamborghini Hurricane. Over $1,000. That's almost $1,400 a day, which is what I was expecting it to be. And that I would only be okay with doing if LJ wanted to go in with me on that, because
that's a lot of money
for a day.
You're only bringing $2,000, right?
I was going to start there. I mean, that's probably what I'll have in cash. Should not be talking about that on YouTube.
So look, it would be amazing for us to do something like this, because I would totally film some kind of a montage video of us driving that car, interior and exterior. But like, it would be fun to do something film related, because that's what my thing is when it comes to Dumb and Dumber. I know that Dumb and Dumber was filmed in Colorado, the better half of the movie, but I really, really wish it. We need to segue into this too. We are not going to be able to do the original idea that we had.
What?
Going to Utah, Vegas.
Oh, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess there was just some kind of just Lamborghini event. What is that, Beau?
Aventador.
Okay, that is an expensive rental.
Well, the Aventador is a little bit newer than the Hurricane, I believe. And
So what we were going to do originally was we were going to go to Vegas and we were going to try to hang out with OGP, and hopefully he doesn't find out through here. But yeah,
I
we're
would
not going to be able to go out that way.
I would love to drive a Lamborghini Countach, which I think looks. I think it's like the one before, honestly, the Diablo.
Yeah. Oh no. What did I just? Okay, so you want to talk something nerdy real quick? Someone posted this as when you see all the cameos in the Flash. Look how they massacred my boy. I need to know.
It's gonna be that's gonna be cool. An Aventador, fucking 2,200 a day.
Oh man, some of these people are in here like roasting this movie right now. Somebody got this picture of what the hell's going on there? What is that? That's so messed up. Yeah, someone said I just got back from seeing it 4 out of 10. No good.
Whoa.
This is also a movie centered around Michael Keaton's Batman. I'm pretty sure everybody is going to be sitting here having a divisive viewpoint. You know how many people I've seen that say Avengers Endgame isn't a good movie, that they say that movie ruined Marvel? People are just going to have opinions. That's just how it is. We're going to go see that movie. Beau, please don't go see it before we go. I would like to experience the movie. We're going to go see it next week. Get a can and make it look like a Mutt Cuts van. Oh, you mean a van? Yeah, let's get a van. We'll Beau drive cross country in a Mutt Cuts van, dude.
And then we'll trade it for a moped.
Yeah, you. If I already thought you couldn't get any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
Hop on.
How fast can this thing go? 20, 30 miles per hour any given Sunday? Fucking Dumb and Dumber. I really, really would love to do like a little special Dumb and Dumber video. If we were going to Salt Lake City, the apartments that they were living in are out in Salt Lake City, so it would have been cool to do that.
There was a scene in that movie when they are leaving Providence, Rhode Island, where they drive over there. It's a highway shot. It's just a highway shot while those songs are playing, and you just see their car driving on the highway. It's like a bird's eye view kind of shot. That scene, there's a scene where they pass by. There's like a big blue beetle on top of like bug or something for like a pest control advertisement of sorts.
Let me look this up while you're talking.
On top of the building, and that building is actually nowhere near Providence, Rhode Island. When I actually stayed in Colorado, when I actually stayed in a small town called Swansea, Massachusetts, that is where that building is.
That it?
That is just outside or near. It's closer to Rhode Island.
Yeah, this says it's Big Blue Bug of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut.
So I know where I had passed by that before.
It's called New England Pest Control.
I have passed by that, and that's not necessarily where it says that they are in that scene. I guess it says Rhode Island.
Movie magic, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, essentially. But I remember someone while I was there pointing that out to me and telling me about that, and that's always stuck with me for some reason.
Look what's on the game catalog. They're doing something new with PlayStation. So me and you got to play this together somehow.
What is that?
It's Power Rangers, the fighting game.
So
Street Fighter take.
Do I need to mute myself to take a dab? Or am I allowed to do that on camera? How does that work?
Look, you want me to mute you? I'm in control. I muted you. can also do this. Screw him. You're good. He's fixing to do drugs on camera. Beau's trapped in a box, you guys. Let me just light a match real quick. Oh man. Shit. Are you gonna do your dab or no?
Yes, but I can mute myself,
Okay. Just checking.
You muted me and I became a mime.
Beau and I are at an understanding that one or the other, okay. Do you remember when when we were kids, my mother used to say that all of us put together, just me and you can cause a problem. But if it was me, you, Chase, and Austin,
No, I mean, we function fine solo, but together it's a unimine.
I've always compared us to being essentially what the mask turns into. Like we're all of like the Loki's mask, pretty much. Like we accumulate ourselves into one big ass fucking cartoon. And he has muted himself again.
I'm going in. Cheers to anyone that's participating, and I believe it will be 4:20 in California in a few seconds.
Timing!
Cheers.
I have nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. All right. Well, I'm removing my camera. You're going to watch. FBI, open up. Oh, man. Oh, God. Here it comes.
No, I think we're good. I've been practicing. No.
He's failed. Ladies and gentlemen, he's failed. If you guys want context on something, I have a phobia of coughing. I don't know how to explain it. It could have to do with the fact that my mom was a heavy smoker, and every time she smoked, she would cough like this really phlegmy sounding cough. And ever since she died, I've inherited this like fear of hearing that sound. So right. I don't know what it's called. I really don't.
And just about everyone in Cody's family is a smoker, not necessarily tobacco, but heavily marijuana. So
a bunch of drug addicts. And you know what? I'm the clean one. I'm the one that doesn't do drugs and doesn't smoke weed. And I'm the one who isn't successful.
Maybe you should start smoking some weed.
Peer pressure. Is your Johnny high? Yes. Jeez.
It's too bad that we can't go to Vegas, so that would have been really cool.
That would have been a fun video because I would have totally done a hangover short.
I would love to do some Fear and Loathing also, which, now that reminds me, can we add that to Voodoo? I've been trying to watch.
Fear and Loathing?
Yes, please.
Let me look.
I'm sure it's a normal price. It's that's what, a 90s movie?
Doesn't mean anything sometimes. If it happens to be by Fox, that means it's owned by Disney, and it's probably going to be $20. Means absolutely nothing. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
That movie itself is a fucking acid trip.
Do you see what else I've added on there lately?
Yeah, I was impressed. You already got Fast 10 in there. And some other stuff, but
Dragon Ball.
yeah, I saw that.
Okay, so who did this? Who's the company that made this movie? Universal.
Nice.
It's $15.
Little man. Put that
If
shit.
I could set it up, I could probably scan it and send it on there for $2. But I
Okay.
haven't tried to switch over to my new address yet. And from what I know, having sorry, hang on just a second. From what I know, experiencing how my address comes up when I've ordered Uber Eats, apparently it takes people to a different part of across the street, a
Right.
different area. Let me do something real quick while I'm on here with you. Keep the audience going.
Keep the audience going. All right, let's talk about who's got tattoos. Because I'm planning.
Who wears short shorts? I wear short shorts.
I plan on getting tattoos. Another one soon. I don't know what I want to. Actually, yes, I do. I want to get the 4-star Dragon Ball. I've been trying to get that for a while. Originally, the idea was I was going to get the 4-star Dragon Ball right here. If anyone's watched GT, I know some people frown upon Dragon Ball GT, but Omega Shenron, he kind of absorbs all the Dragon Balls at one point, and they're all like kind of sticking out of his body. That's what I had in mind for like the 4-star Dragon Ball, kind of be like embedded in my shoulder. So yeah, thinking about getting some more piercings again now that I have a job that permits. I used to have center of my lip pierced, my septum, eyebrow. My ears were fucking 3/4. I had it all. My hair has been down to fucking here. I used to look like a complete fucking freak show. I've completely cleaned it up for work life, etc.
Oh, they saw you not even 3 months before all that happened.
Yeah. You guys fucking know. But they never saw really the piercings and shit. I want to get right here. Fuck, just had the word in my fucking mind. Whatever. And you get like a black stud right there.
Did you say something about getting a black stud?
Yeah, right here under my eye.
There's a joke to be made here.
My current tattoos. Let's talk about that. We got, as you can see, you got Mickey Mouse up there. Pretty hard to show it, but got like little stars in his hand, maybe pentagrams.
I'm having to scan documents for my friend.
That came from a band called Waves, spelled with 2 V's. They're kind of like a surfy, kind of rock, kind of pop, kind of sound indie, surfy, punk pop. I guess is probably the best I would describe that. Love that band. And one of their first EP demos, something like that, featured that. But really, I got it because not only that, I really enjoy that picture and that album, but my grandparents took me to Disney a lot as a child. So that was kind of my homage to my grandparents. For myself, under Mickey, there we got a 1-up mushroom. It's kind of like another chance at life kind of idea, or always having another life. Oh, can always just have another life. Just keep moving forward. Mistakes, 1-up mushroom. My Pokeball. So to most people, if I was to go, okay. So when I look at it, it's white on top, red on bottom. Most of the time I go like this. People see my tattoos and they just see like a Pokeball. I got that there, because my best friend that I met, Lewis, in first grade, on the way that we met, it was like free time or something on the first day I came in, and he was drawing a Pokeball, but he had the white on top and a red on bottom. And I remember saying to him like, "Oh, cool, Pokeball." He was like, yep. And I was like, yeah, but is the red's on the bottom, white's on top, is like being thrown or something? He's like, no, that's how they are. And then we proceeded to get into an argument about, how Pokeballs really were. And that led to our friendship, or him being my best friend. So, homage to my best friend, I got this Pokeball here, and when I look at it, it's white on top, red on bottom, kind of like an inside joke for myself. Beside all that, got this Luke Skywalker lightsaber there. That was one of my first tattoos, so it's kind of like, semi out of place for all these here. I can't really say that there's a good reason behind that one other than just straight up loving Star Wars and liking that lightsaber design. Need to be retouched up again, but yeah, that's that arm. I can't show you too well with this watch on. Take that off quick. Underneath the watch here.
Why isn't this working? Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second.
We got Ghost Kitty there. That Ghost Kitty there is in memory of my cat Kiki, who passed away some years ago. She was a bitch sometimes to some, and at one point in time in life, she was a sweetheart. I did love that cat, and I'm sure I'll get tattoos of my other animals, but that was for her. This stupid little tattoo there I got when I was super young. That's how you would do the metal hand things if you were typing it out on a computer. So if they ain't the most millennial fucking tattoo ever. No, backslash forward. Running out of tattoos, Cody.
I'm running out of patience.
All right.
I'm here. Is there any comments? I'm trying my damnedest to.
Yes, Bretamania89 says Cody needs a tattoo 90s style. We've talked about this.
I've already said what tattoo I want. It's so hard for me to commit to things when I financially cannot do it.
We'll get him to. I'll get him to do one day. Down there on the leg, goddamn, I cannot angle that correctly for y'all. That is like a Vans shoe, kind of like an authentic, if you know what those, or Era 59s. Like a shoe on my ankle. I worked at Vans for a while, and I really appreciated that, and they really did a lot for me in a bad spot in life,
Until all hell broke loose.
that was a good time of life. And plus, it's just a cool tattoo, like a shoe on my foot. I don't know. Kind of stupid, kind of cool. Above that, another really early tattoo. I have what most people call is foghorn leghorn hanging from a rope. It was not supposed to be foghorn leghorn, but I hit my friend up explaining it to him, the joke and the idea, and he pretty much sketched it up. The tattoo guy did it, and that's just how it came out. Now, the idea behind this one is kind of like a mature joke. So I'll give you a second to take a look at it. The joke is not choking the chicken, which is most people's first guess. The joke, God damn it, you guys better not steal my fucking tattoo idea. My cock hangs below my knee.
Oh, man.
And there you go. Ha 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 ha. I was young, and I thought it'd be funny if I'm sitting in a bar one day and I say, "Man, my cock hangs below my knee," and then I show them.
That's great.
Stupid as fuck. Don't do that. That's how you get slapped in a bar or something. Harassment training or something. I don't know. Don't do that.
Sexual harassment, panda.
This one was, those stories where people are like, "Oh, don't get super drunk and then get a tattoo," or something like that. Or you ever wake up and then you're like, "Oh fuck, I got a tattoo. What the fuck?" This is one of those stories. I'm sure you don't see how bad it is, but it's bad. So it's one of those skateboards broken in half to look like a heart. I love skateboarding. But the person who did this was not a tattoo artist whatsoever. In fact, I was very, very inebriated. And so was the person who said, I have a tattoo machine in my car. Who wants a tattoo? I proceeded apparently to say I did, and then woke up the next morning with a bad tattoo. So kids, don't drink and get tattoos by random people at parties. Don't do it.
And also, don't accept candy from strangers in a white panel van.
I don't know, man. I did stupid stuff as a kid. Just got a little bit older.
He didn't do that. That was a great segue, though.
Stuff. So yeah, those. Unless I forgot any, those are my tattoos.
I'm still here. I'm almost done. I just had to take photos of the lease agreement for dipshit.
So let's talk about my car. I got this white Eclipse 2003. I immediately, so I needed a car. I was in a situation where I was Ubering to work for like a solid year. And I needed to get a car finally. And the only reason I jumped on getting this Eclipse was because when I was a kid, my uncle, not the one that we're going to see in Colorado, but a different uncle, had the very same car. And I remember, and I should have, probably been like, okay, yeah, but you want to get the GST model and you want to get like a 1999 or a GSX. And I should have thought more into it, looked into it, but I just got like I just jumped on it because I needed a car. Not that I hate this car, but this car looks sporty to a degree, like a 90s sports car, two-door, which leads to just about every douchebag with a way nicer car than me wanting to attempt to race me. And this car does not fucking go like that. Like, sure, it looks.
It does not.
This thing ain't fucking beating anybody in a fucking race. And a number of times I've had fucking Camaros, Challengers, fucking 350Zs trying to fucking just race me. It's just like, bro, this ain't the car. Like, I just laugh because I'm just like, and when I peel out, I'm just like, I was never going to race you. There was never any challenge whatsoever. This car sucks. If you're going to get an Eclipse, make sure you get the GSX all-wheel drive and make sure it's like not the 3G, get the 2G. And then probably engine swap it, even at that point. It's not the love bug car, Herbie, said Bretomania.
I got to see that car in person. I'll show you a picture in just a second after I'm done being a fucking adult for a second.
But yeah, I'm on the look for a new car. I'm trying to save up. I really want to do I thought myself about a 350Z, but in the end, I'd really like to do a Corvette of sorts. I was going to save up a little bit more. I'm going on this vacation, I was going to set it back a little bit, but it's worth it.
Where the hell is that picture? What the halibut?
What else do we want to talk about while you're figuring that out?
We can talk about. Hang on, just a second. We can talk about some of our favorite memories.
Oh yeah, look at that. I got this next to me. I got. Oh, it needs to be cleaned off. I got this Meta Quest 2 VR thing. I'm not sure if people have tried VR. Check that shit out if you can. If you
VR
is pretty cool. Now I feel like we're just really starting to get into like something that's gonna be more socially acceptable.
I really want to get the PS5 VR, but
that's what I think. I feel like I want to sell my Quest 2 for the PS5 VR because as cool as this is, I really enjoy my PS5, and I think I enjoy it more with VR, especially.
You did get the Quest before you got the PS5, though, so it makes a lot of sense.
Dean Jones got one of the original Herbie cars to keep.
I have a picture of. There it is. I found it. So let me give you context to this, by the way. So when I was working with the triplets, I was also working with a bunch of people who, like, some of you guys have to know who Brandon is. Brandon handles a bunch of Power Ranger actors, but is Brandon Benfield, Studio 43. He and I and a bunch of other people with the triplets went to Dark Delicacies or something like that. It was like a place of like gothic, like macabre horror type thing. And right across the street was a fucking impound lot. And I took the picture of Herbie the Love Bug was impounded, bro. He just stopped working.
You hear about the Apple VR coming out? What do they call it? Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. Also, they're filming
$500.
They're filming the entire new Godzilla like MonsterVerse series in 360, so you can experience the Godzilla series with that. That's a concept.
Damn.
That's something I'm jealous of, but I'm, gonna stick with what I can get because I cannot afford a $3,000 headset.
You could probably still experience that on a one of these because you get 360 on this too.
Well, if it's on Amazon, see, we'll see because I would love to experience that, and I love Godzilla. Godzilla is one of my favorite things ever. But
yeah, $3,500.
I'm trying to think of some of the stuff that we can talk about because, all right, Beau. I know somebody has asked this before, but as somebody who was essentially the main focus of one of my stand-up stories, somebody has asked if that whole entire scenario is true.
So if I understand right, Cody has kind of fused 2 or 3 stories together.
For the most part, yeah.
Or tad bits. I mean, Cody, for the most part, has, yes, I'm sure he left out some things, but for the most part, Cody has made, the story.
Specifically the Santa Claus story with Clay.
I never got on the rooftop.
Yeah, you did. No, I remember you did. Do you remember how far the roof was from our actual platform?
No, I don't remember.
You can literally pull yourself up there.
Hmm.
No, there was a point. Okay, so if I remember correctly, because you don't remember some stuff I've told you, even to the point where you were hanging out of the window.
I remember that.
Okay, so you do remember that. Do you remember that we were out there for like 3 hours because my mom didn't lock the door?
I think it was like an hour, 3 hours.
Still. Anyway, no. So what ended up happening? Beau and I were hell bent on making sure that Clay was put to sleep because your mother was really annoyed with him. And Austin was also in that phase of like really wanting to sleep in the bed with your mom. You slept with me, and I can't remember what Chase was doing. But it was that year in 2007, I think. I'm pretty sure it was 2007. Because that was when your mom was diagnosed with cancer, right? I'm pretty sure that's what that was. Anyway, that Christmas, your mother and you guys ended up staying with us. And for whatever reason, we ended up going outside pranking your brother. And I had the jingle bells. It was like a mistletoe, actually. Like it had bells at the end of it. It hung on the door. And Beau thought it was a smart idea to walk on the roof just so he can have the imitation of Santa Claus landing on the roof. And I remember this vividly because you ended up falling off the roof. It wasn't that far off the ground, though, Beau. It wasn't. I'm telling you, it was maybe like 5 feet.
I feel like it gotta be like this has to be like a dream or something. I didn't fall off no roof.
I remember you falling off the roof. I remember. But there are things that me and Beau have done, and that are funny. We've done some funny things. We have some memories from when we were kids. Specifically, I remember one of my favorite stories actually is when we were when I got my Nintendo 64. I remember that day, and it was the Pokemon Stadium set. Actually, let me pull up that image. We're going to talk about this because I would love for us to play Pokemon Stadium together because you and I playing that game, probably one of the most memorable childhood experiences. Beau used to come down for the summer all the time. So, hang on just a second. By the way, when it comes to comedy, guys, a lot of times it can be exaggerated, but whatever for a laugh, you know? Uh, let me look at this. Beau, do you have anything to add to what I'm talking about?
No.
No. All right, I found a picture of this. So this is what I ended up getting. Come on, save, mother flipper. Can you guys see me still? Because I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to save this to desktop. All right, here we go. So, all right, favorite all-time comedy movie? Beau?
I don't know if I have a single favorite. Like, you know, I don't really got a favorite anything. Like, I just love shit.
Right. Yeah, I mean, my favorite is going to be, is this really a comedy? It's a drama. If I said Man on the Moon, that's kind of defeating the purpose. That is my favorite movie. Comedy-wise, I don't know. If I had to name 3 of yours, Beau, I know it's Talladega Nights.
I like that movie.
Step Brothers. Step
Yeah,
Brothers.
I like Step Brothers. It's not a favorite.
Okay. Let's see if I can actually. How do I add a picture to this? I'm trying to figure this out as I'm.
Those are all old. Like, those aren't really relevant anymore.
Okay, well, comedy-wise, I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second as I'm trying to figure things out with this how this works. Let me see if I can present an image. How do I do that? Huh. Oh, okay. So now what I know. Okay. So no, don't save. We're going to do this and talk about this real quick. So, sorry, I'm trying to figure things out as we do this. Yeah, no, someone said favorite porno movie. Zack and Miri Maka. Anyway. Why is this? There we go. So this right here is what I ended up bringing home in, I think, 2000. My mom took me to Toys R Us, and this was what I ended up getting. This is a throwback for me because this is Pokemon Stadium's battle set, and this included the game, a transfer pack, a purple atomic controller, and also just a basic black. Why didn't they include the Pikachu one in this? That would have been pretty cool. They could have probably added something a little different than a basic black Nintendo 64, but this is where I got all that, was this right here. It's one of my favorite childhood memories right there. I was coming home that day, and Beau, he and I were playing Pokemon Stadium upstairs, and yeah, we were trying to beat that game a lot. By the way, yeah, no, someone commented on my video where I talked about how the game is not impossible to beat without the Game Boy games. And they got all pissy because they say it is impossible. No one has ever beaten a game before without the Game Boy transfer pack. And it doesn't help that I did that on camera. I beat the game. if you still had that new in box today, it would be worth some coin today. If I ever got a time machine, there are some things I would go back and pull from my childhood that's brand new and resell it in the future. I tell myself that all the time. Someone asks, what music do you like? Beau?
I'm typing something out. Sorry. What music do I like? I listen to everything, Frank. Like, yeah, there's a lot of punk, metal, rock influence in that for sure. But if you look at my Spotify, it's all over the place. It goes anywhere from in high school there was a lot of post-hardcore. I loved a lot of Devil Wears Prada. We came as Romans. I listen to house music. I had growing up as a kid. My mom on our road trips only played country, and I fucking hated it. Now, unfortunately, I'll catch myself listening to fucking country from time to time.
I seen them.
I even got Michael Jackson in there. I got everything. Like if I went to my library right now, on the top right now we got Souls of Mischief, 93 Till Infinity. Then you got Modest Mouse, Float On. Then you got Riff Raff. Then you got Radiohead. Then you go back into Post Malone. Then you got Fetty Wap. Then you got fucking let's see, Foo Fighters. Then you got The Who, Wolf Totem.
Ooh, what a throwback.
No, not The Who. The Who spelled H-U. I got No Effects on here. I fucking want to go see them.
Were you ever into NoFX or The Offspring?
Yeah, I was just saying I want to go see No Effects. Let's see. The Toxic Avenger, not the movie. That's an artist, really good. I got Beck on here. Chelsea Grin. Let's see. Elton John.
That's a definite jump right there.
Red Elvises. I do got Blink 182 in here. Whitechapel. Yelly, which is a French DJ. Waves. Motley Crue. Let's see. Nirvana. Yeah, Eddie Murphy in here. Party All the Time. MF Doom. I got MF Doom.
Okay, well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this real quick because some people are segueing into something I kind of always wanted to do a topic with you on, and maybe we can go into deeper on this in another time. But I've always saw myself doing sort of a '90s talk podcast where we were to talk about some of the biggest influences in pop culture, and someone just brought up Britney Spears. I used to love her. I hate her now. I hate how she's kind of reminding me of something that freaking Anna Nicole Smith was before she did, she died, She's kind of off her rocker a little bit. It's scary. But Britney Spears' music back in the 90s was a big influence on pop. I want to say if me and Beau would you guys like to see me and Beau do like not really a documentary, but it's a live talk on, not the 90s a little bit. But what do you remember as far as like 90s influence, music, movies, television, things like that?
Well, like someone asked here, Frank asked, do you remember your first concert experience?
Yeah.
My first concert experience was fucking Backstreet Boys.
Really? Oh my God. I didn't know this.
Yeah. No, it wasn't like,
Dog has entered chat.
It wasn't like, oh man, I can't wait to go see Backstreet Boys. They were like the shit at the time on the radio. And I guess my parents, took me and my brothers, all to go see Backstreet Boys and the Black and Blue album. So if anyone was like big, I just remember that's what it was, the Black and Blue tour, some shit like that. So if anyone was a big Backstreet Boy fan, I went to their concert as a child, and that was my first.
We evolve.
Concert.
We go from music. I mean, that's essentially we used to listen to NSYNC too.
Yeah, but that's what the segue into your question. That was that was a big influence. Boy bands were like the shit.
Yeah, I mean up to the early.
Hey, someone else. Adam, wait, right under that question. Adam, when I mentioned the Red Elvises, he recognized them. That's awesome.
you're the other guy that knows who the Red Elvises are. Is
Dude.
there really that like small and like a minority that?
Okay, so some people might know them from playing from a movie, like a little B movie. You would enjoy watching this. I'm sure Adam maybe probably knows over here. I think it's called. It's a samurai movie. Fuck. They play music in the entire thing. I think they're even in the background. It's this B movie. And my friend, I only know this because of Munchies. And they always have like little B movies and like movies playing in the background at Munchies. But it's this something samurai movie. Red Elvis.
Six string samurai. That's what you just said.
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's it. So yeah, that's where most people know them from. But they played at Munchies. They came through and played. It was really fucking amazing, and I added their music, immediately after my friend told me about the movie and that they were coming, and I listened to them. Yeah, Frank knows. Okay, so yeah, great.
Never heard of it, and I'm the movie guy.
Check that movie out. It's a very surfer kind of like sound. The guy's from the Ukraine, the lead singer. It's just a very funky, groovy, surfer. Fast paced. Rockabilly. Rockabilly, I guess would be the right word.
Rockabilly. Yeah. So yeah, Beau. Somebody said that they would watch us talk about the '90s concept. I've always wanted to do a documentary, like an actual breakdown on '90s pop culture, just in the '90s in general. We were young. We didn't get to experience teenage lifestyle. This is one thing that I think a lot of people argue on my '90s page. They say you had to have been born in the '80s to enjoy the '90s, and I'm just like, no, because you're only a couple years before you're a teenager, and at that point, the things that people enjoyed about the '90s, pop culture, music, like TV shows, things like that weren't Friends or Cheers. We're talking about like kids shows and stuff, Nickelodeon. Those things made a huge influence on '90s kids. And that's the difference between a '90s kid and a '90s like teenager. There's two different things. I would love to talk about our childhood. I've actually had someone ask me this before, but you live in Florida, and someone has asked if me or you have been to Nickelodeon Studios when it was around.
Okay.
Oh boy.
No, but yes.
But yes.
I remember being at Universal as a child. And this time that I can think back, because I went there many, many times, so I'm sure I went by it multiple times. But I remember being there as a child and walking across the bridge and seeing the Nickelodeon, where they recorded everything, seeing like the slime fountain, seeing it over there, the big, orange and blue building that was over there, orange and green building.
The zebra stripe on the side.
I remember being like, I want to go over there. I want to go over there. And my parents were like, oh, it's closed at the moment. Or, and this is like, it's had to be like 95, 96, 97, somewhere around there that I'm there. And
it's heyday, yeah.
So, yeah, it wasn't like it was closed, for anything. It was just like, there wasn't anything going on at that time, no showing or whatever, I guess is what they're trying to say. So, I didn't get to go do whatever would have been over there. So, but I remember seeing it as a child. I have since been back multiple times, passed by where I think the rock and roll roller coaster goes over it, and it is now the Blue Man Group.
Hey, I don't know if anybody has watched this video though, because he's talking about this. There are remnants of Nickelodeon Studios inside that building because Adam.
Yeah, they removed the stairs that allow you to go up to the upper offices. At one point in time, there was still stuff that was, you could still see SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, stuff like that on the walls.
Powdered Toast Man was on the wall. I remember that.
There was that. There was, still, from different eras. You could just see that it jumped from like the '90s to the early 2000s in certain parts, and then it just fizzled out.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that studio is very popular. If you guys have never watched this documentary right here, it is called The Orange Years. This documentary actually recounts and talks about a lot of things that involve Nickelodeon Studios in its pre-concept phase, to the point where people like Mark Summers and Keenan Thompson and everybody who was involved with these live action shows when they were having to film the process of it, they said there would be kids pressing their faces up against the glass and they felt like zoo animals when the process was going on. People were just snapping photos and taking it upon themselves to get an experience out of it. They had tours going through the studios and yeah, like I think this is such a unique concept to have a studio dedicated to a whole channel block because Nickelodeon ruled the 90s. Nowadays, it's just trash. The only thing it's holding on to life support because of SpongeBob's like almost 25 years on TV. But like back then, there were things that were actually well thought up. After Viacom bought Nickelodeon, they just really didn't care anymore. But this documentary talks about how Nickelodeon became what it was in the 90s, and it is definitely worth a watch. It's going to take you back to a time where you felt like a child. It really is one of those documentaries with some great interviews, great behind the scenes stuff. Apparently Mark Summers almost killed a child in Double Dare.
Wasn't there the very first episode they fucked up and forgot to put one of the flags in the
yes, that is in here. Yes.
One of the kids dug for it forever and it never won, and
nobody put the flag in. Yeah.
It came to be that someone just forgot to put the flag in there. So they essentially gaslit the kid.
Yes. It is a very raw behind the scenes take on what happened back then. So if you guys want to hear some stories like that, it's a great documentary. I think it might be on Paramount Plus, but you can get it on Amazon fairly cheap for under $20 if you guys want the Blu-ray copy of it. So definitely check it out. Somebody said that they grew up on Disney's One Saturday Morning, like Recess, stuff like that. Remember Boy Meets World and Sabrina being on there, but I didn't grow up on that. I grew up on Disney Channel. That was about it. Disney wasn't my thing. Okay, here we go. We got a better comment, or not a better comment.
I definitely was, I remember Amanda Show was definitely one of them. I have a funny story about, trying not to miss the Amanda Show. All that. But I remember one time my brothers and I were trying to watch the Amanda Show, and I guess it was coming on later or something. I don't know. I remember my parents being like, "You got to go to bed." My parents like,
night. That was what it was.
But my parents were like, "It's time to go to bed. You got to go to bed." And I was like, "No, I know it's not that time yet because we haven't watched the Amanda Show yet." And my dad was like, "What are you talking about, the Amanda Show?" And I was like, "The Amanda Show. We have to watch that, and then I know for sure that it's like 9:00 or something by the time it ends." And my dad's like, "What do you mean the Man Show? What are you watching the Man Show for?" And my dad and I thought I was saying the Man Show, which was a show I guess that came on Spike TV, if I remember right, or Comedy TV, which was a little more
risque,
edgy than the Amanda Show, which is
the Amanda Show's already.
I was trying to watch.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So once my dad saw fucking dancing lobsters and a little girl, man, he realized, oh, Amanda Show, not Man Show.
I don't think I've ever actually been in a position where my parents or my mom has been concerned about anything that I have ever watched. She let us watch a lot of stuff. As a matter of fact, Beau, the local video store that we went to at the time, I remember my mom let us rent Spaceballs and South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. It was my first introduction to South Park, by the way. And man, I think after that movie, after we watched it, we were cussing up a storm. My mom just didn't give a shit no more. But my mom was a little bit more accepting of our interest. We watched Adult Swim. One of my favorite shows to watch with Beau every time was Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
I need to watch Aqua Teen, and she hated it at first and then grew to love it. I'm gonna take a bathroom break. I'm gonna use the little girl's room.
But yeah, we ended up watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force and stuff because I believe they also played Family Guy and Futurama on Adult Swim at one point. So we stayed up to watch that stuff. And so yeah, at one point though, I have an interesting story involving Child's Play. This was my introduction to Chucky And it's a great story because I've always felt like, my first time watching that movie, I ended up watching the censored version of it, which was on like TNT or something, like late night movie night thing. And what ended up happening was I had one of those old, like tiny translucent blue TVs. Back when everything was transparent, you had the 64 and the Mac computers and stuff that had the transparent colored computers. I had a TV like that, and it was like a little like 32-inch. And I remember watching Child's Play up until like 2 in the morning on a school night. My mother come in and turned it off, and I turned it back on. And after school, I come in telling her about this amazing movie that I enjoyed about Chucky and the killer doll. And she was really concerned at one point because I was talking about watching a horror movie, and she didn't care. After I started explaining to her I was interested in it because it was a cool concept. At one point, when I want to say like 10 or 11 years old, my mom actually bought me the entire Chucky collection on DVD. So my mom was pretty cool. She let me have as much of an access to things as I could that wasn't overstepping, I guess, a boundary. There goes Beau with his dog. Lizzie McGuire, Hillary Duff was my celebrity crush. Oh, that's something to ask. My celebrity crush was Danielle Fishel, Topanga from Boy Meets World. I had a huge crush on her. Wait for Beau to come over here to give you guys his answer. I had the SpongeBob TV with the VHS player. I used to watch late night with Conan O'Brien all the time.
Is that the question?
Someone asked you, or someone was bringing up celebrity crushes when we were kids. I said Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Trying to remember the celebrity crushes. I know I was super into Gwen Stefani.
I have a top three: Christina Ricci, Amy Jo Johnson,
Ricci, yeah.
and then Topanga for me. But like otherwise, Christina Ricci was probably a lot of people's like crush back then because she was in Casper and Addams Family. Introduction to our little goth girl obsession that I had at one point. I still have a crush on Jessica Alba. Yep.
Same.
She's a very beautiful woman. I mean, there's some beautiful girls out there that have represented celebrity.
Not to ruin this for anybody.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Google it. Make sure I'm right. But I believe she's HIV positive.
Well, at least she's positive.
Something.
I'm not just positive. I'm HIV positive. Britney Spears was another of mine back in the day. I think Britney had a high point in the late 90s, early 2000s. And
herpes. Never mind. Herpes. I went that way worse than I was. But yes, she has herpes that she got from Derek Jeter in 2004.
Oh, so it wasn't fucking what's his face from Good Luck Chuck.
Dane Cook?
Dane Cook. What a movie to remember right there. Oh, boy. Jessica Alba.
I jumped the gun. It's herpes.
It's herpes. Jessica, she doesn't look.
And it's Jessica Alba that she got from Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter and Jessica Alba, please do not sue the House of.
No, I just remember hearing that about Jessica Alba. And to me, I was like, oh, herpes. Oh, no.
Britney Spears now is short a can of a six-pack. She's lost her mind, for sure.
Seems to be a good mom, but that's all
I
I
don't
can
know what happened to her. Like, again, she is definitely very concerning as far as like her attitude and the way she's just like always naked, I guess. Like, it just reminds me. It's like, okay, so let me explain to you guys. I don't have a problem with nudity.
Yeah, different perspectives. We're not looking at it from if you're naked, they can only sell those pictures to certain tabloids.
Right.
And good attention, bad attention, that's money in your pocket regardless. Now, a lot of it was fighting her survey, like people pretty much controlling her.
Your conveyor ship,
stealing her money and shit like that. Now I believe she's free, and if she's still doing crazy shit, I really got no explanation for it.
Well, okay, so from what I know, this whole Britney Spears situation is that she, at one point, I guess, was a cause of concern with her family, that they had to take control of everything. Her sister was in on it. Of course, Britney is such a very loved person in the pop culture community. She's a very nostalgic, like,
Really, the kids want nothing to do with her. I don't say
yes, that
that.
that is this is a fact. First off, it has to do with the fact that they don't like that their mother has been stripping on camera, or just showing off like nudity in general. They
I
just
don't
feel
stay
like,
up on that. This is old
huh?
shit now. I only know old shit now.
Yeah, no. This has to do with right after her conveyorship, she started using nudity on social media. Granted, it's all blocked out and stuff like that, but she is butt naked in a lot of her Instagram posts.
Is she making money
Um,
off of it?
I don't know what she's doing. I really don't know if it's really about money or if it's just her. She claims to be it's expressing herself. Trust me, we're two guys. I'm a guy. I do not have a problem with a girl showing off, but if it comes
Honestly,
off,
as long as she's making money off of it. Otherwise, what the fuck? You
it
should be
is a little
probably
concerning. There are things that she does in these photos, or at least these videos, and there's things that she says. Like she's changed her name to River Red. Like
yeah, but
Brittany,
Sasha or what's her name? Fucking. I mean, that could be anything. That could be her getting ready to rebrand herself. That could be a porn name.
who knows? Look,
Beyonce.
I've
Beyonce went
there
by Sasha Fierce for a little bit.
Brittany has, unfortunately for me, has become such a hot mess that I feel like she just reminds me too much of Anna Nicole Smith. Do you know who Anna Nicole Smith is, Beau?
Of course.
Okay. Do you remember her last days before her death? She
Party,
was,
party.
well, it wasn't just
Oh,
about
both,
party.
right?
She was coked out. She was drugged. She was holding a baby doll and acting like it was a real baby. Drunk out of her mind at one point. Brittany isn't to that point, but it does feel like some of the things she says and does are almost incoherent and almost like she's just done, like she's gone. It's not like it's Britney Spears anymore, you know? It's just me personally. The boys have decided not seeing her right now. Federline told the Daily Mail it's been a few months since they've seen her. They made a decision not to go to her wedding. Oh wow. I mean, that is definitely those are the things that that is a big thing to avoid. They did not her kids did not go to her wedding. That's how extensive they have removed themselves from her. I saw a comment up here referencing Jason David Frank. Beau, you have obviously thoughts on it, but you haven't heard anything from Beau on this situation. I've said as much as I can about JDF.
About JDF, I mean, I was terribly upset then. Still terribly upset now.
Beau will tell you I had a very close, I guess, encounter with that situation. Not necessarily with JDF himself, but with his publicist. And I told Beau before they even broke the news.
Oh yes, I remember Cody calling me and telling me, honestly, up to 6 hours, 7 hours before I saw anything posted online.
Yeah, I had all the information before it all fell. Like there were so many people that were really in question because I don't know who decided to break the news publicly. I bet you it's one of those fucking idiots that I've had an issue with in the Power Ranger fandom that get the news, like that hashtag show or something like that. But yeah, just in general, my connection with Jason David Frank has been askew. I'm not talking shit about him, by the way. I had at one point had a problem with JDF after we worked with him a few times, until the point that we found out it was his agent that he had at one point, and me and JDF had. Was that you?
Yep.
Okay, that was a loud ass
I don't know.
notification. It sounded like my phone.
It came through on my computer. I don't know why it came through for you guys. That's weird.
Audible. Anyway, yeah, no.
People check their fucking phones.
Yeah, me and JDF have. I'm glad that we fixed the things we fixed a few years before he died because In 2016, I went to Power Morphicon, worked with Robert Axelrod, and then recently, of course, Morphicon. Beau was supposed to be there, man. I really wish you would have been able to meet him before all this happened. It would have been great because me and you grew up on Power Rangers. Beau and I have grown up on a lot of things together, and he will admit that even though he does not watch the show, the movie, we talk about the movie so much, even to the point where Beau. At one point, we talked about doing a sequel, like YouTube series or something. Recently, like we wanted to do something of that magnitude.
Yeah, no, I think I had an idea to Cody that since the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie is technically not canon, if someone could get the rights, there is no saying that they couldn't write a direct sequel to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
Would be interesting to see because it is not canon.
It's in everything. Universe. I think it'd be great to have Ooze come back.
I don't know how that would happen though.
Here's my idea. I pitched it to you. I remember telling you.
Well, we were talking about Ryan's comment. I guess having residual.
It's like a play on Haley's comment, which comes back around every X amount of years.
Think he's just a bug splatter on the because it exploded.
Have him fuse with the fucking meteor and come back as like.
If anybody has any suggestions to throw out there, it'd be pretty cool. But anyway, let me go back to some of these comments. Spears hasn't. Here we go. We're going back to Britney Spears. Spears hasn't seen her teenage sons in Willow. Oh, we already saw that. No, we didn't. Social media. Yeah, following their public spat about her behavior on social media at the end of summer 22, tensions got so bad that the boys. I'm going to read the rest of it. That the weren't even. Hang on. Responding to her text. You push your kids away that far. It's pretty bad. Was JDF going to be a part of the Netflix Ranger series that just came out? No. I talked to him before that ended up happening. He said that there was never an intention for him to actually come back to the series, that he was always going to focus on the Legend of the White Dragon, which is coming out this November, I think, theatrically. That's going to be interesting for those of you guys that are interested. That's JDF's last project, and it's going to be interesting seeing him again on screen. I feel like you never met JDF. I wish I got to. He is a sweetheart, and he definitely has a. This is what I said there at one point. Someone had asked me if I were to describe JDF after meeting him. I don't know him as well as some other people. How would I describe him? He is a very powerful force that can command a whole room with his voice, and he knows how to hype up the energy in a room. He knew by one word or one phrase he was able to make everyone scream. And every time he said it's morphin' time, you can hear it outside of the convention center. The people chanting his name and stuff. The guy was just a force to be reckoned with.
Larger than life.
Yeah, and it would come as a big shock. When I was told that he had died, I didn't think it could have been. Got to say the word self-deletion on YouTube. I had thought he maybe died in a motorcycle accident or something like that. But just like Robin Williams, you really don't feel like someone like that who is that large on life and very energetic and things like that. Would actually do it.
You never know what really someone's going through and struggling, and someone reaches out, reach back out to them. You never know what someone's going through.
I
don't know the suicide hotline number, but now would be a great time to throw that up there.
Yeah, suicide hotline number. It's coming out September, not November. I misspoke.
Suicide hotline number is coming out in September.
No, JDF's. Special.
I'm sorry.
Poor Ooze missed the Brady Bunch reunion. Yeah, that's. And you know what? The thing is, apparently, that was a horrible thing that he missed. I got the Once and Always Blu-ray from right after your video. It's crazy how good quality is, and the subtitle has subtitles. I was surprised with that. I'm glad that you enjoy. I like to give people credit when credit is due when they make something like this and they actually carry it out and make a good copy of something where it looks like it's not sponsored by Dr. Pepper. When they make a good copy of something, Beau, this looks like a legit Blu-ray. Like, okay, can you quit making out with your Dr. Pepper can? Contractor, no, I will not bow to any sponsor. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but becoming a good person does not mean selling out. Garth, what do you think? Some people just do things for money, and that's just sad.
Yeah.
The doctor is in the house. Yeah.
Dr. P.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out my video on the Once and Always Blu-ray unboxing, go check it out. There is a link in the description for you guys to purchase. It's only $16. It's a great deal. If you guys don't want to subscribe to that evil corporation known as Netflix, lawsuits are coming. Oh boy, but
we hate Netflix.
that's yeah. Then also, if you guys have not checked out recently, go check out my Inspector Gadget movie collection video. It has overnight gotten to almost 200 views. I'm gonna grab this up here. I'm crawling on the floor like Ricky Berwick.
Haven't met yet. Not Ricky. That I haven't met yet.
Oh man. Hang on just a second. So this CD right here,
we'll get
this
that.
CD, this I talked about the CD in my video. This is a $300 CD that I got for $15 the other day. It's because this is a production CD used to market the background music, the score for the movie. It was never sold to the public. Very rare CD. Go check out the video if you guys want more details on that. Is there any Holy Grail celebrities you guys haven't met yet? Well, Beau, I don't know what you consider a celebrity. You've met a lot of skateboard celebrities.
I haven't met Tony Hawk.
So is that somebody you would want to meet as your Holy Grail?
I guess it's one of them. I mean, that'd be really, really cool to be able to meet the guy. Years ago it was at Bam Margera, but boy, do I have a story for that.
You can share that in a minute. I would have said Jim Carrey if I hadn't already met Jim Carrey. The thing is you don't get an experience with Jim Carrey. You meet him outside, his security pushes you back, and you hope you get your photo signed. That was it. So it was not a fun experience, but being in the presence of the guy was great. I wish this was an easier loophole. If Andy Kaufman is really alive, it's Andy Kaufman.
I'm sure there's tons of people I would love to meet. Real quick, go back to the Bam Margera story. I'm not sure how people are keeping up with his shenanigans at the moment, but I believe he's, unless I'm wrong, I think he is now back into rehab, or just recently signed back in under Lamar Odom, actually. Is helping him out. But hopefully he sticks around in that. But about a year and a half ago, Bam had walked into, I was working at a Vans shoe store.
Can we look at the picture?
It's up to you if you want to pull that up. It's on Instagram, I believe.
Instagram. Okay.
And he, essentially he just wanted a ride back to where he was staying with a friend. And my manager was cool enough to let me give him a ride. And, it was the wildest thing. Someone that I looked up to, watched Viva Bam, all of his TV shows. I just got to give him a ride to his buddy's house. And then
there's Beau with Bam Margera right there.
The following day, he comes in again a second time to He came in with a skateboard, but he wanted to change out the wheels, trucks, bearings, a bunch of other things. Bought some shoes for his kid. Got to hang out with him again and help him set up his board, which is really cool. So not only did I, drive Bam around, hang out with him and talk with him, and then, get to set up a board with him. It was really cool. Unusual situation of meeting, I guess, a celebrity that, you look, up to as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, that does happen. I just recently went through that with someone I built a close relationship with, and that fell apart pretty damn quickly. Beau got to witness that firsthand. I was wondering who made the Blu-ray. Does it say on the case? No. I don't believe. I think it's just some random guy who has access to a printer that was able to make something. Where did I meet Jim Carrey? Was it at a convention? No, it wasn't a convention. It was when I was out in California in 2016. Somebody had told me that Jim Carrey was doing I guess it was like what do they call that? It was just like an introduction to, I guess, somebody who was an up-and-comer comedian at like a Chuckle Hut or something like that, like a little Laugh Factory building. And everybody was talking about it, I guess, in some groups. And my friend went to go get a photo of the Riddler, an 8x10 printed for me. And I ended up going with him outside the fence of the building in the back. And he was signing things for people. And I remember watching a guy actually I have a photo, by the way, of this whole thing happening. There was a poster of The Mask this guy had rolled out, and because the poster in the wind kept rolling back into a tube, Jim Carrey didn't sign it because he couldn't keep it like rolled out. So I was just like, oh, you poor guy. Let me just walk away with my photo. That's why you do 8x10s.
I really hope he stays there with Lamar, or not Lamar, just at the Hold, the rehab center. Real quick, just in the background, real quick, we missed it by 4 minutes, but it was just 4:20 in the Philippines.
Oh, great! You're gonna smoke again?
It was 4:20 somewhere.
So this is the photo I took. That first off, that guy right next to him, he was a dick. Like, I mean, he was pushing everyone away. There's Jim signing my little photo right there. So, yep.
Old Jimmy.
That was when I got it, when I looked like a fucking Amish recruit. So
look like what's his name's brother in the office, our cousin in the office. Mo.
Oh, God.
Dwight.
Dwight?
Yeah, Dwight's cousin.
Oh my God.
Mose.
Did you read this?
Yes, I did, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I really hope, this time around he sticks around, because this isn't the first time that he's been in some kind of rehab situation. Yeah, honestly, so the reason why, I don't know if anyone really knows, but Brandon DiCamillo was honestly fucking hilarious. And if you watch Viva La Bam, if you go back and watch any of that, or even the old CKY videos, you'll quickly see that Bam isn't the fucking hilarious one. Yeah, he's funny, but fucking Brandon DiCamillo,
he's ripping off of already hilarious stuff,
is the genius there. Brandon was the fucking genius. He didn't agree with how, what's his name? The owner of Dick House, the producer essentially was making money off of it, making money off of them, more money off of them, and not really as much as Brandon. So Brandon never got with Jackass and all the other later things as much as, the BAM's protest. Brandon DiCamillo would not do it because the money wasn't in his.
I know something to bring up real quick, because someone brought up Ryan Dunn. Now, have we determined that we actually were on that road where that accident
happened? Okay. So when we went to New York, we did drive through Pennsylvania, and I then remember saying this is likely the highway that, unfortunately Dunn did pass away on. And we did pass the very spot. You would not really know, of course, today.
I didn't even get a video of it. I would have recorded it if I was prepped, but I remember Beau was just like, wait a minute, this looks familiar. Like I was just like, okay,
I
well,
was very, hurt by the loss of him, and I remember staying very, into all that.
yeah, if I had actually been prepped and knew exactly where we were, I would have probably done a video.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brian did pass away some time ago now, but since then, it's just not been
What image
easy for
fucking,
bands.
you know what fucks with me? The image the most that come out of that
What?
was Steve-O walking away crying from the rail at one time that after like a bunch of like pictures people took.
I feel really bad for Bam's parents because that's who they called to positively identify Ryan. So they had to go see him, And
You talking about? No, I don't know. It's Don Vito isn't his dad now.
No. That was his uncle. So Phil and April Margera were the ones who had to go identify Don, and it's my understanding that the only thing that they were able to positively identify was because some of the tattoos that were on his arm.
Yeah, because he was pretty much burned to a crisp, right?
Essentially.
Brandon DiCamillo would be amazing if he had a live comedy show.
He's fucking hilarious. He's a lunatic.
What comedians are not?
Well, he wasn't really a comedian. He was just being himself.
Maybe he's got the makes for a comedian,
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if you've ever watched Viva La Bam, but he was like the dude that was like.
He used to make me watch him all the time. All the time. That and Jackass. Like, there was something I feel like I remember there were 3 shows that Beau used to make me watch when it was on MTV. It was Viva La Bam, Jackass, and fucking Silent Library.
Silent Library.
Silent Library was a shit, dude. I love that.
Go in a second. I'm muting myself.
He's taking his bitches out to take a shit. Yeah, no, Beau and I used to watch a lot of like stuff, like different channel blocks and stuff mean a lot of things to us. Like me, my favorite channel block is Fox Kids. Beau and I have grown up on Nickelodeon, MTV, Adult Swim, Cartoon Network. We had he just hotboxed the camera.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, we watched a lot of stuff. Beau, at one point, I remember he rented Jackass 2 or 3 at the video store, and we watched it.
It's like 2.
And I still cannot get over which one was the one with the snake bite on the dick.
I don't remember.
It was whatever reason. I think somebody put like a sock puppet on his junk. Oh, it was rough. But yeah, definitely a lot of great throwback moments with that whole era of friggin' Viva La Bam Jackass type stuff. It was definitely a different time for sure.
I'm probably gonna be leaving up the munchies soon. I'm gonna let my boys out over here.
Yeah, we've had a good 2 hours talking to each other. Beau, would you ever come back and do this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because we obviously next week we're going to be actually hanging out in person, but there's definitely a lot of room for Beau to actually come back and actually do some, communication. Because every time I talk about Beau, it feels like everybody talks to asks about things like it's a myth, Like Beau is an infamous story of the things that me and him used to do as we were children. So go take your shit. But yeah, no, we had a great time today, and I'm sure Beau again will come back, especially after Colorado, because I'm sure we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about. But yeah, if you guys want to follow Beau, you got some links if you want them to follow you. Your Instagram's Beau Comply, and
Beau Comply, like skateboard trick, no comply.
Yeah, and
that's about BEAU, beautiful.
I never put that one in. BEAU, beautiful. And as always, you can always subscribe to me here at Cody's House of Geek. You can also follow Growing Up in the 90s on Facebook if you guys want to see some more 90s related topics. And yeah, so a week from tomorrow, Beau, Colorado.
All right.
Yahoo.
Subscribe to the. I'm not going to say that. Never mind.
This is an uncensored talk. We've already fucking dropped our. I don't know where we're going with this.
I was going to say the same thing, that their sign off from Tusk.
Oh no. Oh man, I real quick, we'll end on a high note with this discussion. When he come out before we went to go, was it before we went to New York? I can't remember what it was. It was either my birthday or New York. It was like a couple weeks apart. And Beau had just spent like 11, 12 hours driving, and I stayed up all night with him because he was driving in the rain. So he comes in, and I'm like all right. He's like, I'm probably not going to be able to sleep. I'm still kind of like on a little bit of a high. Of being awake. He's got his second wind. He was like, watch a movie with me. Have you ever seen Tusk? And I was like, no. What is it about?
How are you going to go see Kevin Smith and you haven't seen his horror film?
I really was not. I feel like I was only interested in what he was telling through his View Askew universe. And to be honest with you, Beau, as soon as you told me about what Tusk was, I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And we watched that movie. And I was just kind of flabbergasted. I was just like, what?
What are we watching?
And then Beau afterwards, he's like, what did you think? And I was just like, I don't know what to think of this. This is all kinds of weird. And then afterwards, he's like, I'm still not tired. Let's watch the documentary on how Kevin Smith got high as shit and produced this on a podcast. So yeah, Beau has introduced me to things that I feel like I would have never really shown interest in before. But Tusk was one hell of an experience, and I have not watched it since then. I own it, and that's all I need to know. Is like that is a movie. That is a movie from hell. I never want to see. If I ever see a walrus, I'm going to freak out. I don't think I'm terrified of walruses. I'm just going to assume that it's built out of like a complete human being. Yeah. Who calls me? Connor. Hey, hang on just a second. I got one of my other friends. Just a second. Connor, what's up?
Hey, I don't know what kept happening with the call, but anyway, how are you doing?
I am actually live on YouTube right now with my cousin Beau talking about stuff. But you're good. People have had you on camera before.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
How's it going, guys?
Beau, I don't know where he is. He's either taking a shit or taking his dogs out to take a shit.
Oh, nice.
He's taking a shit on camera.
Basically, I'm calling because I have a business proposition.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I was cleaning out my mom's front one. First of all, I found the piece that like you can put drinks in the door.
Okay.
Okay, and then second, the business proposition. I have a bunch of like trading cards, Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, and then some Sports Illustrated Kids cards that I've had since I was a kid. And I was wondering if you wanted to, if we split it like 50-50, if you'd sell them on eBay for me.
I mean, how old are these cards? Are you like? Assuming you're a kid. This has had to be like 2007 or something like that, right?
Yes. I already looked at one of them. The Usain Bolt card is one of the top 5 like most prized kids Sports Illustrated cards ever, and it goes from upwards of like $250 to $500.
Yeah, but the thing is those prices could be from graded though. I would assume that that's a graded price.
I gotta go get it graded?
Yeah, and the best way to do that is probably have it slabbed with Beckett.
What does that mean?
Beckett Authentication Services actually do. Well, when I get off of here, if you were to, Total Nostalgia might actually be interested in some of this stuff. Believe it or not. Me and you can make a ride out there with the cards and see if they were interested in it, and they could probably slab them themselves.
Oh, okay. See, this is why I called you.
Because I'm smarticles.
Articles.
Yeah, let's we can make a plan to possibly try to go out there at some point. I mean, whether you want to do it before or after I get back from Colorado is up to you. That's pretty close. That's a week from tomorrow.
Probably after you get back.
Yeah, because I don't know what Renee and Phil are doing, honestly. But it is, I'm totally down. It'd be interesting to see how what those Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon cards are like. Did you ever find that Pokédex that you told me about, by the way? Yes.
Head out. I'm gonna go pick up my girlfriend in a bit.
I had it at one point. I had one as a kid.
Okay. Well, real quick, hang on. All right, guys, I'm fixing to go. Beau had to leave, and he's right here. He's here. He's fixing to be gone. I don't know why he's voguing, but we're gonna. All right, then. Beau is voguing, and you can probably go. Yeah. Come on, Vogue, let your body move to the music. Hey. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and go. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna finish this transaction with Connor. See ya.